Bombshell tonight in the Nolan Wells investigation. Tonight, the timeline seemingly blows up. This as Nolan's mother is investigated. Why? And tonight, possibly even more important, where
a young man vanishes from a remote island. 3 friends return to shore without him. And now, the question that has everyone talking isn't about what happened to Nolan Wells. It's about what's on his phone. The device that could solve this entire case has become the center of a war between a grieving mother, a high-profile attorney, and the investigators who say they can't get access to it. But here's the problem. Nobody seems to know where the phone actually is. Picture a courtroom where the most important piece of evidence isn't in the hands of law enforcement. It's somewhere out there, floating in the space between what the family says and what investigators claim. That's the reality of this case. It's like trying to solve a puzzle when the centerpiece is missing and nobody will tell you who has it. Because the phone isn't just a phone. It's a digital diary. It's a timeline. It's the only witness that was with Nolan from the moment he stepped onto that boat to the moment he never came home. Before we go deeper into what the evidence actually shows, make sure you're subscribed to CrimeNest Media, because we don't just cover the story, we follow the facts. Now think about this. The Jackson County Sheriff's Department has been investigating Nolan's disappearance for weeks. There's a grand jury now. That means this is serious. But according to defense attorney Tyler Cox, who represents the friends on the boat.
Big question. That is Tyler Cox representing the so-called friends of Nolan on Horn Island. And if he's claiming that no one see the phone, how does he know that something's not missing? So that's
the family hasn't cooperated.
I don't think they've cooperated at all. They do not have Nolan's phone. They haven't had access to Nolan's phone. The Jackson County Sheriff's Department has.
He said it point blank.
Tyler Cox stating, I don't think they cooperated at all. I think he's talking about Nolan's family. They, I guess, the sheriff's office, haven't had access to Nolan's phone.
I don't think they've cooperated at all. And when Nancy Grace pressed him on the phone issue, he made a bold claim. The friends don't have Nolan's phone. The sheriff's department doesn't have it. So how can anyone say there are missing texts or photos?
Department has it. So how can you say that there's text missing or there's photographs missing? Our boys had no reason to do anything with Nolan's phone other than give it back to Christine and her friends later that night. So
that's the contradiction. If nobody has the phone, how does anyone know what's on it? And if the family is so desperate for answers, why haven't they handed it over? The family's attorney, Ben Crump, has said they're prepared to cooperate. But prepared to cooperate isn't the same as actually cooperating. And when Nancy Grace asked Brandon Tatum, the former police officer who interviewed the friends, where the phone was...
Forget all that. Officer Tatum, where is Nolan's phone? Do authorities have it?
Well, from my understanding,
something crucial. From his understanding, authorities don't have it.
Well, from my understanding, authorities do not have it, and the family have not been cooperating with authorities to give the phone over. According to the testimony or written statement from the lawyer that represents the family, the Nolan Wells family, he had made mention that he's prepared to cooperate, but they have not cooperated yet, which is very
The family hasn't given it over. It's a simple question with no simple answer. Where is Nolan's phone? The friends on the boat have handed over their phones voluntarily
They
to the
told
FBI.
Christine, Nolan's mother, that they had his phone and his keys in their possession. Therefore, she came to get them. They turned them over. They have no access.
That's transparency. They have nothing to hide, their lawyer says. But Nolan's phone, that's a different story. And the longer it stays out of investigators' hands, the more questions it raises. Because in 2026, a phone isn't just a device, it's a roadmap of someone's final moments. It shows where they were, who they were talking to, what they were searching for, and whether anything was deleted.
Now, to my question. Don't you understand why people are suspicious? Because Nolan's separated from his phone, which no teen does. I get it, why he didn't have it in the water. I get that. I dive, I swim. I just went swimming with the dolphins with my twins. And yes, my phone was on the boat.
Here's where it gets interesting. Digital forensics expert Heather Barnhart, who worked on the Alex Murdaugh and Brian Koberger cases, says the phone is critical. She says investigators need to do a full file system extraction as quickly as possible.
It doesn't matter if I can get it from the cloud. So Nolan's phone missing. So what? I can download it. I can get it.
Data will exist in the cloud if he's syncing to iCloud and third-party applications. However, having physical access to the phone is...
The cloud is helpful, but the phone itself holds the truth about what was deleted.
Do you have to have the phone to do the extraction? What about the cloud?
Cloud data is different, and there's a lot of information there. There could be unique information in the cloud that's been removed from the phone, if anything was removed, but it's best to have both cloud and the phone to paint the...
And the clock is ticking. This happened over a month ago. If anything was removed, evidence could be lost forever. That's the ticking clock moment. If the phone holds the answers, and it's been over a month, what has been lost in that time? What digital breadcrumbs have disappeared while everyone argues about who has the phone and who should hand it over? The grand jury is investigating, but every day that passes without that phone is a day the truth gets harder to find. The moral refrain is this: the truth is on that phone. The truth is on that phone. The truth is on that phone. Tatum tried to downplay the phone's importance.
Nancy, there could be two things afoot. I'm not a part of the investigation, but I can see if they haven't gotten the phone yet, it's because they don't need the phone and they don't want the phone. It's not there of evidentiary value if there is no suspect here. If it was a drowning and there's indications of a drowning, they may not need it.
He said if law enforcement needed it, they would have gotten a warrant by now. But that argument falls apart when you consider the burden of proof. You need probable cause to get a warrant. If investigators don't know what they'll find, they can't just demand a phone. And Nancy Grace made that exact point. If law enforcement wants the phone, get a warrant. Go get the phone.
Get a warrant for the phone. Go get the phone. Or
Nancy,
communicate to the family. Give me the phone.
Communicate to the family. Give me the phone. But the family says they're prepared to cooperate.
And the parents have to suffer through this. And also, all attorneys have to say is, I don't think it's my understanding that she didn't hand over the phone.
So why isn't it happening? Why does everyone keep saying, we're prepared, instead of, or it is? There's another layer to this. Tatum claimed the friends took polygraphs and passed.
Well, from my understanding, all but, I believe, one took a polygraph. And from what was told to me, that they all passed. And all of the ones that took a polygraph took one without a lawyer. And they cooperated with law enforcement. So from my understanding...
Nancy Grace pressed him on that too. It turned out they didn't take actual polygraphs. They took a computer voice stress analysis, which isn't the same thing.
Officer Tatum, number one, they did not take polys. Number two, Warren, as you refer to him, did not take the voice analysis. Why did he not take a voice analysis? Number one.
And when she pushed further, Tatum admitted he didn't even know if the tests were reliable.
Okay, let me just make sure clear, because I think the internet went in a frenzy about this. It's a computer voice stress analysis is what I was referring to. None of this is admissible in court, and I don't think it has the weight to concern anybody or whether or not anybody.
That's a problem. When you make claims about cooperation and transparency, you have to be able to back them up. And when you can't, it raises more questions. The defense lawyer, Tyler Cox, has a theory. He says the friends had no reason to do anything with Nolan's phone except give it back to his mother. He says claims about missing texts or Snapchats are completely false. But here's the problem. How does he know? If he doesn't have the phone and law enforcement doesn't have the phone, how can he be so certain nothing is missing? The only way to know is to get the phone and do a forensic extraction. That's the only way to prove what was on it, what was deleted, and who might have done the deleting. And until that happens, the speculation will continue. The internet will keep pointing fingers. And the truth will stay buried. That's the question that haunts this case. How did Nolan Wells die? Who was with him? And why, a month later, do we still not know what's on his phone? The friends have handed over their devices. The family says they're ready to cooperate.
Yes, ma'am. According to the lawyer and according to what they told me, they said they handed over to the FBI voluntarily. And the sad part is that I wish that Nolan's phone could be evaluated because there have been claims that had not been substantiated, and I believe that the claims should have never gone out in the public unless.
And the investigators have a grand jury. But the one piece of evidence that could answer everything remains out of reach.
Okay, again, for the millionth time, you don't know they haven't. And I don't know that they have. But
now let's talk about the public documents in this case. The grand jury investigation is a matter of public record. The statements from Tyler Cox about the phone are public. The testimony from Heather Barnhart about digital forensics is available for anyone to read. The court filings, the press releases, the interviews, all of it is evidence of what the public knows and what it doesn't. And the public knows this. If you're innocent, you hand over the phone. If you want answers, you hand over the phone. If you have nothing to hide, you don't create doubt about where the phone is. So here's the question we want you to take with you. If Nolan's phone holds the key to what happened, and it's been over a month, what's the delay? What does the family fear? What does the defense team know that they aren't saying? And if the phone was handed over tomorrow, what would it show? The file is public. The records are public. The testimony is public. And the answer to that question is somewhere in the digital trail that nobody has examined yet. What did Nolan Wells's phone know before he never came home? And why? After all this time, are we still asking where it is? We follow the facts so you can see the truth. If this story made you think, hit like, share this with someone who needs to see it, subscribe to CrimeNest Media, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next deep dive. Because the truth doesn't always come easy, but it always comes eventually.